Am I a boy? Am I a girl? I don't know. I don't know which one I want to be, right? Testosterone level, as anybody who had any kind of basic level of education would know, is really what kind of makes us a man. We have seen a decline in people being proud of being strong, proud of having a good body composition and not looking like a fat slob. And now it seems like these things are vilified. These male sex hormones are on a massive decline. They are declining at a very rapid rate. The study said that by the year 2040, you would have an almost 0% rate of sex hormone production and fertility in men around the world. Now, I don't know about you, but that's really scary to me. I don't want to live in that world. Hey, what's up, guys? Coming to you live from the barn in Atlanta, Georgia. It's Carlton, Washington here with For Real. And today we're going to talk about a topic that you probably hear a lot about right now, but I think it's important to kind of keep beating this drum over and over and over and over again because it's so important. And that topic is masculinity. What does it feel like to be a man? Why does it seem like this topic has been vilified so much recently, and why maybe people like in my demographic who are 45 years old may just not understand this? As a 45-year-old, I was born in 1979, and I have a great deal of respect for my elders. I feel like many generations that have come before us actually were stronger men than my generation. They have a lot of different ways to kind of prove and verify that. A lot of those guys went to wars. A lot of those guys saw things that we can't imagine. A lot of those guys had to work with their hands, a lot of heavy labor. A lot of the machinery that we use these days wasn't even around back then. And so there were just so many different things that made people actually have to use their body, their masculinity, their manhood, their strength, which to me is something that goes along with masculinity, to actually just make it day to day, to do a good job at work. I mean, there's probably heavy lifting involved in a lot of this work, right? Tough mental fortitude, and just all around general toughness, which is what we associate, or at least what we used to associate with manhood. And so today I come to you from a person who I feel like I could say is an expert in some of these issues right now, because I spent the last 11 years of my life in a company called Forever Young. And at this company, what do? We help people look and feel good. And one of those things to help people look and feel good is to actually help them restore their testosterone level. And their testosterone level, as anybody who had any kind of basic level of education would know, is really what kind of makes us a man. It is the thing that we have in our system. It is a hormone that we have a much higher amount than women, which really differentiates a lot of our features, a lot of our ability to pack on muscle, a lot of our urges, a lot of our aggression, and all these things that are important for survival and the ability to thrive and sexual wellness and reproduction. And I'm sure maybe you agree as well that we've seen a decline in some of these traits I've just talked about. We have seen a decline in people being proud of being strong, proud of having muscularity, proud of having a good body composition and not looking like a fat slob, proud of being able to take care of one's kids and family and to be a gentleman and to do these things that were traditions where men actually helped to protect women and protect their community and protect their children and protect themselves. And now it seems like these things are vilified. They want you to go and tell somebody. They want you to call a police for every single altercation. You get in trouble if you get into a physical altercation, which I can tell you for a fact, 34 years ago, police probably wouldn't even come to a lot of the calls that they have today. People settle disputes on their own. And I'm not saying that that's what we're looking to go back to, but I'm just saying it's a big difference from where we are now. I'm not a scientist and I'm not a doctor, but what I can tell you is that we have run thousands upon thousands upon thousands of patients' blood work and hormone levels, and we see something that's glaring. One of the things we just talked about was testosterone, how it is considered to be the male dominant hormone. Well, why are we having all these patients coming in with hardly any testosterone? Young men in their 20s with 200, 100 total testosterone levels. That is insane when you understand that in previous years with our fathers and our grandfathers and our great grandfathers, these guys were around 7, 8, 900 testosterone levels. if you want to compare and contrast, you're talking about guys who have an 800, 900 testosterone level, right? Remember, we talked about testosterone being what makes you a man dominantly, in terms of the hormone dominance. And then you're talking about bringing in a young man in this era that has a 200 level, a 200 times 900. That means that this person's not even a third of the man that the previous man was. And the numbers don't lie. 900, 200. What is going on? I remember reading a study from Erin Brockovich. And if you guys don't know who she is the scientist that went and brought that massive civil case down, I believe it was in Texas, to the company that was basically poisoning a town, won a massive settlement for this town, for the victims of this, I believe, chemical that impacted the town. It was killing people. And so she's got a really good history of digging and doing research and getting data. And so she did a study, and I believe it was over 200 scientists all over the world. And the study was about what is happening to our sex hormones, what is happening to testosterone levels, and what is happening to fertility. And what she found is that these male sex hormones are on a massive decline. They are declining at a very rapid rate, so much so that I believe the study said that by the year 2040, you would have an almost 0% rate of sex hormone production and fertility in men around the world. Now, I don't know about you, but that's really scary to me. I don't want to live in that world. I barely recognize the one that I live in right now. And it's not because I'm just some 45-year-old man who isn't adapting to change. It's the fact that the change should be getting better. It shouldn't be getting worse. We should be getting stronger. We shouldn't be getting weaker, right? And so when you have lower testosterone levels, what does that mean? Your ability to synthesize protein into muscle is depleted. It's not there. It's very difficult for you. So that means you're weaker, smaller muscles, weaker, less muscle mass, weaker. Less muscle mass means probably more body fat, probably more visceral fat. No one's ever said, I want more fat. No one's ever said, I want more visceral fat. No one's ever said that I want to be weaker, right? And you see it all around. You also see this in terms of people being confused now. For the first time in my life over the last few years, you've had an agenda of people talking about they are confused about who they are. Confused. Am I a boy? Am I a girl? I don't know. I don't know which one I want to be, right? Look, I don't remember that happening in my childhood. I don't remember that happening when I was in high school. I don't really remember that happening too much when I was in college, and neither do my parents. If that's something that you're into, fine. But could it be that these same studies that you have people doing around the world in regarding our sex hormones and the decline in our sex hormones, could this also be impacting people's ability to recognize what gender they are or who they are in terms of sexuality or in terms of their status as a man or a woman? Remember, these things typically are the separators in what makes us feminine or masculine, right? From when we're in the womb to when we come out, our hormones pretty much dictate which path we're going to go on. And so if we have young people that are never actually getting fully developed hormones, fully going through puberty, maybe it's no wonder why so many people are having a hard time figuring out their place in this world and which direction they want to go. And it seems like that's also partnered with a level of dissatisfaction and sadness, because while you're seeing people with declining and decreased hormone production, you're also seeing an increase in what? What is the other thing everybody's talking about right now? Mental illness, depression, suicidal thoughts, behavior, suicide itself, all of these things, people saying that they're overstimulated and they don't want to be around people. They don't want to be social. More and more introverted people than you've ever seen before. People are scared to come out of their home, people staying up in their apartments and condos and just staying inside because they feel afraid. They don't feel like going and doing these things. Could it be that there's a relation between these two things? I'm going to tell you that I believe it is, because many a times we're seeing patients in clinics that are coming in thinking that, oh, I have depression. I saw a commercial. They said I'm depressed. I saw a commercial talking about anxiety. I think they have that too. Next thing you know, they run a comprehensive blood panel and look on there and say, oh my God, well, what is this in the red right here? Oh, well, Mr. Such and such, your testosterone level is a 60. By the way, my wife is like an 80 or 100, just to kind of give you an idea. My son is like 14 years old and has a higher testosterone level than you. Maybe this is the problem. Maybe that's why you're depressed. The truth of the matter is 9 times out of 10, it is, because what happens when we increase testosterone, when we increase that hormone in our body, and our body is in level, meaning estrogen is balanced, DHEA, which is another prohormone, is balanced, testosterone is balanced. When hormones are in balance, what happens? Next thing you know, you feel better. Next thing you know, you feel stronger. A little while longer, if you're doing the right things, you're eating right and doing some kind of exercise, you're looking better. Next thing you know, your confidence goes up, because when we look good and we feel good, confidence goes up. And now all of a sudden we got this person that was depressed and full of anxiety going to the gym, going out, feeling good, a little bit more extroverted, and overall having an increase in quality in life. My theory, based on what you and I can both access in terms of research and data, partnered with my 11 years working in this industry and working with men and women and their hormonal health, I believe that the decline in sexual hormones and the sex hormones of testosterone in both men and women, but especially in men, is having a massive impact on why people believe that there's a decline in masculinity, and why people's willingness and ability to fight back against things they don't believe in, against things that they disagree with, against normal everyday issues and challenges in life, you see people's willingness and ability to do these things going down. It is measurable. So what do? You're 20 years old, you're 30 years old, you're 40 years old. At each one of these periods, you're at some point in prime of your life. You need to make a decision. Do you want to be low hormone, lacking strength, lacking confidence, poor body composition, poor libido, poor mood, inability to perform, all of these negative things? Or do you want to be protector, strong, better body composition, better looking, better performing, better mood, increased libido, all of these positive things? Which one do you want? Who do you want to be? I want to be the strong guy. I want to be the guy who has quality life. I want to be the guy who has an optimal lifestyle. If this is a crossroad that you're at right now, what can you do? If you feel like you are struggling in these areas, go get a blood test. Go order one offline. Go into a clinic. Ask them, test my testosterone. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're 20, 30, 40 years old, if you're under a 450, then I would tell you to consider some type of hormone replacement therapy, whether it's a post-cycle therapy, whether it is testosterone injections, whether it is a supplemental therapy to help re-stimulate. One way or the other, you need to pick something, right? I know you want to be the better looking version of yourself, the better performing version of yourself, the person that has the optimal lifestyle, the person that can protect their family, the person that's strong, the person whose bones don't break every time they fall because they have no lean muscle mass, a good quality sex life. All these things go along with optimal testosterone levels. All these things also support being masculine and being a better man. I implore you today, go get your hormones checked, do a checklist and an inventory of your life. See which one of these things that I discussed today apply to you. If you're already living that life, then I'm rooting for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work. But if you're sitting on the sidelines, depressed, full of anxiety, low confidence, feeling weak, scared to talk to women, whatever it is, it's time to make a change. It's time to look into what could be causing this. It's time to go and get the data. And I implore you to go do that. There's clinics you can go to. I'd love it if you went to a Forever Young anti-aging center, but if not, that's cool. You can order online. You can find somewhere else in your town. The biggest thing is just to go. Don't waste your life sitting on the sidelines. Don't let your masculinity go down the drain because something out there is impacting your hormones. Something out there is restricting you from being the man that you want to be. And I think that this should be empowering for you to go and make that decision today. If you need any help, my name is Carlton, Washington. You can reach out to me. I can help you with that journey. I can show you where to go. Again, I don't care if you come to me or go somewhere else. Just please go somewhere.